Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Sabrina Brown. It's great to have you with us. Topping the news tonight, the government has not yet decided who will be the new operator of the Treasure Bay Casino in Lucaya. The lease for the current operator expired earlier this year, but they have been given an extension as the government continues the search for a suitably qualified operator to help to build the island's only gaming facility. Minister responsible Obi Wilshcombe has gone on record to say that there are a number of companies expressing an interest in the gaming facility. Tonight we hear from a Bahamian group making a bid, and its leader says they are a serious contender. Natalie Martinborough reports.
We've heard the talk about, we need an operator who can do what Barma did. Listen, our partners have the money.
Former Member of Parliament Sydney Stubbs is heading a joint venture group interested in managing the Treasure Bay Casino. Stubbs, chairman of Celebration Entertainment Gaming, says the group was formed 18 months ago, and the Bahamians involved have a total of 75 years of experience in the gaming industry. But they are not doing this alone. Stubbs says after an extensive search, they found credible business partners outside of the Bahamas.
We eventually started negotiations with a funding group headed by Mr. Omar Amana, O-M-A-R-A-M-A-N-A-T, pronounced Amana. And Mr. Amana and his partner, Sean Sullivan, Wallace Chiefs, they sat with us and we structured a joint venture agreement. And the agreement is 50% to the Bahamian side and 50% to the funding side. And the funding side will also have the management and operational authority for the investment.
Stubbs says CEG applied to the government in October of last year, and since then they have had a number of meetings regarding the investment. He says despite the naysayers, the investment partners are solid and they have many years of experience in gaming as well.
In fact, one of the largest gaming companies in the world, and it's based out of Ireland, is called Hat-Tricks, Hat-Trick Group. That's owned by our funding partners. They also own, Mr. Oman and his team owns 39 hotels across the world, some of them in the Caribbean. The largest new hotel in Turks and Caicos Island, that's owned by Mr. Omana and his partners. And they operate casinos around the world as well. In fact, the partner who would be responsible for the management and operational control of the casino, if CEG gets it, his name is Mr. Wallace Chiefs. Wallace is a casino magnate. He owns casino ships across the U.S. and Latin America.
Stubbs says, contrary to reports, the CEG group did not withdraw its application. In fact, he says the partners are already looking at other ways to bring business to the island.
They've gone out and they've entered talks to buy the Celebration Cruise Line, and they've informed us and the Port Authority that Celebration last year brought in 182,000 tourists to Grand Bahama. They want to increase that to 400,000 beginning early next year. And they're serious about Celebration, and they're also going to start talks very soon with the Grand Bahama Port Authority about taking out 99-year leases on the Grand Lucayan and Lighthouse Point hotels, because they believe it's a synergistic fit for the casino.
Stubbs is appealing to the government to take them seriously and give them a chance to restore the magic to the city of Freeport. Natalie Martinborough, ZNS Network News.
Police are investigating 3 separate armed robberies that took place over the weekend. The first occurred on Saturday night when a man walking in the Jasmine Gardens area was reportedly approached by another man armed with a knife who robbed him of his gold chain. The second incident reportedly occurred around 12:35 yesterday afternoon. Reports are that a male and female were tied up and robbed at gunpoint while at their home on West Beach Drive and robbed of an assortment of jewelry. The suspect, who was reportedly wearing a mask and dark clothing, is described as about 6 feet tall and slim build. Police say both victims in this incident were taken to hospital for medical attention. The third robbery was reported almost 3 hours later. The victims, 2 women in the Barbary Beach area. Police say the women were approached by a man armed with a cutlass who robbed them of $80 in cash. The culprit in this incident was allegedly wearing a white T-shirt. blue short pants, white socks, no shoes, and a black cap. Police are asking anyone with information that could assist with their investigations into these matters to telephone 919-911 or the nearest police station. The attack on the principal of the Jack Hayward High School last week has raised many concerns. Tonight, the Grand Bahama Christian Council is speaking out on the matter. Crime continues to grip headlines in the country. As the government works to address this national issue, the Grand Bahama Christian Council is also concerned about the evil permeating our society. President Bishop Arnold Pinder says, according to 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1, the social ills taking place in the Bahamas are signs that the end time is at hand.
Boys raping their mother. A pastor's wife was raped while doing her chores at the church in Nassau. Young children are being molested by parents and guardians. Recently, Mrs. Ward, a principal of Jack Hayward, was attacked by a parent.
It was that attack on Principal Yvonne Ward that moved the council to speak out once again on the crime situation. 2 days following the incident, the parent, 34-year-old Latoya Denise Williams, was charged and sentenced to 1 year in prison. The Christian Council leader is happy that justice was carried out swiftly, and he believes it sent a clear message.
I want to commend the Honorable Minister of Education and the court for seeing that this case was dealt with immediately. Of course, as Christians, we are praying for the parent. But we are glad that justice was served.
But the religious leader also has this concern.
The Honorable Minister must be careful how he handles any other child or children that she have in school, because education is very important, and one child should not be feeling any backlash from what the parent did.
No.
When it comes to me,
First Vice President of the Council, Pastor Keith Meadows, believes it's vital that the government takes measures to set good examples.
Looking at the situation of crime in our country and violence in our country, there should be a zero tolerance in every aspect when it comes to dealing, particularly around our youth.
Pastor Meadows adds that greater emphasis needs to be placed on anger management.
Most of the incident that takes place in our country is as a result of anger management. And so therefore, I believe that that is one of the problems that we face as a nation. And so once we are able to deal with this anger, then we will be able to deal with this problem of violence in all of our institutions.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. We'll be right back.